Hello students, welcome to our YouTube channel Learn Easy. Students, today is the second session of first chapter of biology class 9 science, that is cell, the fundamental unit of life. Student, in this session we are going to discuss about the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell and what is the cell is made up of. Okay students, so if you are not subscribed my channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon for latest update. Okay students, now what is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell? I hope you all are already studied in the previous class that the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic is. Okay, but now pro means primitive, means old, and karyons means nucleus, means prokaryotic is the cell which have primitive nucleus, means old nucleus. Okay, and U means true, karyons means nucleus, means the eukaryotic cells have true nucleus. Second is well developed nucleus with nuclear membrane is absent. In prokaryotic cell, nucleus as well as nuclear membrane is absent, means is do not have developed well developed nucleus with nuclear membrane. Okay student, but in eukaryotic cell it have well developed nucleus with nuclear membrane. Okay, next the third difference is membrane bounded cell organelles are absent in prokaryotic cell. In prokaryotic cell there is no membrane bounded cell organelles. Cell organelles example just such as mitochondria, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus. These are some cell organelles which we have to study in earlier sessions. Okay, but here in prokaryotic cell membrane bounded cell organelles are absent, but in eukaryotic cell we have membrane bounded cell organelles. Okay, in eukaryotic cell membrane bounded cell organelles are present. The fourth difference is the prokaryotic cells are generally smaller in size as compared to eukaryotic cell. The size is around 0.5 micron to 10 micrometer. Okay students, so this is very small size, 0.5 micrometer. You know micrometer 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, 1 micrometer is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter. Okay, so 0.5 to 10 micrometer size. This is so small. That is why this cell is microscopic. We cannot see such kind of cell with the help of microscope. Beside this we have eggs. Egg is also a cell which we can see our neck dye. Okay student, we have to discuss this in earlier session, that the size, shape and counts of the cell. Okay, but the eukaryotic cells are generally larger in size as compared to prokaryotic cell. The size ranging from 10 micrometer to 1000 micrometers. Okay, this is comparatively larger in size as compared to prokaryotic cell. The fifth difference is most prokaryotic cells are unicellular. Maximum number of prokaryotic cells are present in unicellular organism, means single cellular organism. We have already discussed the difference between unicellular and multicellular organisms like bacteria, amoeba, paramecium. Okay, these are unicellular organisms. So most of the prokaryotic cells are present in unicellular organism, and in eukaryotic cells are generally present in multicellular organisms. Okay students, next 70S ribosome is present in prokaryotic cell. 70S is the subunit. Ribosome has the structure like this, one small unit and one is big unit. Okay, so this kind of structure has ribosome. So we have to discuss this is earlier, but here prokaryotic cell have 70S ribosome, whereas eukaryotic cell have 80S ribosome. Okay, so this is also the difference on the basis of ribosome also. Next, the examples of prokaryotic cells are bacteria, blue-green algae, etc. Okay, and in eukaryotic, fungi, plant and animals are the example of eukaryotic cell. So we have discussed the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell on the basis of size, on the basis of ribosome, on the basis of nucleus and nuclear membrane, on the basis of cell membrane. Okay, so we have discussed. I hope you all have understand this. Okay, now students, we have to study what is a cell made up of. What is a cell made up of? So basically cell is made up of three components. There are three basic components in the cell. First is plasma membrane, or we can say cell membrane. Second is nucleus, and third one is cytoplasm. In this whole chapter we just have to study these three topics. First we have to study about plasma membrane, then nucleus, then about cytoplasm. In cytoplasm we have to study about the cell organelles also. Okay, so let's start the first topic, the first component of the cell, that is plasma membrane or cell membrane. Student, plasma membrane or cell membrane is the outermost covering of animal cell. It is the outermost covering of animal cell. Okay, it is elastic, thin, it is very thin and elastic. Okay, plasma membrane is also called semi permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane, because plasma membrane manage the entry and exit of the substance like gases or some ions, like substance, movement of substance into and out of the cell. The plasma membrane controls the movement of transportation of substance into and out of the cell. It is selectively or semi permeable because it only allows the certain things to pass through it. It do not allows the whole thing to pass through the cell membrane. Okay, cell membrane, plasma membrane is also called semi permeable membrane, students, because it only allows the certain things to pass through it. It do not permit all the things to pass. Okay, so plasma membrane is the outermost covering of animal cell. It is thin and elastic. It separates the cytoplasm from the surrounding. Okay, so suppose this is a cell. Suppose this is a cell. Okay, and this is nucleus. This is a rough diagram, student. We have to discuss the very good diagram in next session. So this is nucleus and this is cytoplasm. In this cytoplasm, so many cell organelles are present, that just like mitochondria, ribosome and Golgi apparatus. So many kinds of cell organelles are present, and this is the outermost covering of animal cell. The outermost covering of animal cell. It is thin, elastic, outermost covering of the animal cell, that is called plasma membrane. That is called plasma membrane or cell membrane. It separates the cytoplasm from the surrounding. This is cytoplasm. Suppose there is no cell membrane, then what happens? The cytoplasmic fluids come out and the cell will ultimately die. But this plasma membrane is very elastic, and it can, once it broken, it can rearrange itself. It can rearrange itself. Okay, so plasma membrane is also called semi permeable membrane. Why it is called semi permeable membrane? Because it allows only certain things to pass through it. So what is plasma membrane? Plasma membrane is the outermost covering of animal cell, which is thin and elastic, which separate the cytoplasm of the cell from the surrounding. So these are the basic points I have written here. It is the elastic outermost covering of the animal cell. It is semi permeable. We have already discussed why it is called semi permeable. This is very important question. Next, separate the cytoplasm from the surrounding. Plasma membrane or cell membrane, we can say, separate the cytoplasm from the surrounding. And the fourth is, it controls the movement, or we can say the transportation of substance into and out of the cell. Now we have to discuss then how the substance transport, how the substance move into the cell and out from the cell. Okay, so the substance, there are many substances which move into the cell and out of the cell. The basic means of transportation is by diffusion, or by osmosis. Diffusion and osmosis. Due to diffusion and osmosis, substance move into the cell and out from the cell. Now let us discuss what is diffusion and what is osmosis. Diffusion means, students, the intermixing of two or more than two substances according to the concentration gradient, means from higher concentration to the lower concentration without semi-permeable membrane. If the substance move from higher concentration to the lower concentration, okay, that is called according to the concentration gradient, means from higher concentration to the lower concentration. If the substance mix or move from higher concentration to the lower concentration without semi-permeable membrane, there is no semi-permeable membrane, that is called diffusion. Like if we inhale air into our body, it goes through the trachea and through the bronchi and then alveolar sac in the lungs. When it goes to the alveolar sac in the lungs, there some blood capillaries attached to the alveolar sac. Okay, now there the gaseous exchange takes place. From blood, carbon dioxide diffuses into the alveolar sac and oxygen of the air diffuses into the blood capillary and goes around the body through the blood. Okay, so in alveolar sac what happens? There is a gaseous exchange. Carbon dioxide comes into the alveolar sac and oxygen goes from alveolar sac to the blood capillary. Okay, so this is the movement. Okay, so the movement of substance according to the concentration gradient. Air has 21% oxygen as compared to our blood capillary. In our blood capillary there is less number of oxygen, so oxygen diffuses from alveolar sac to the blood capillary, and in blood capillary have maximum number of carbon dioxide. The concentration of carbon dioxide is higher in alveolar sac, so the carbon dioxide diffuses from the alveolar sac to the from blood capillary to the alveolar sac. So the movement of substance according to the concentration gradient without semi-permeable membrane is called diffusion. Okay, let us take an example. Suppose this is a beaker. We have some gas here. Suppose this is bromine gas. Okay, now next the second beaker and put it on the first one. This is first one and this is second one. Put the empty beaker on the first one. What we have observed, the beaker first have bromine gas and beaker 2 has nothing but air. So what we observed, that this the color of beaker first is brown. The color of first beaker is brown. We observe after some time the whole beaker, the whole system will be in brown color. So we can say that the concentration of bromine gas in beaker 1 is higher as compared to beaker second. So bromine gas goes from higher concentration to the lower concentration. As a result, air goes from beaker second to beaker 1, because the concentration of air is higher in beaker second, so it goes from beaker second to beaker 1. Okay, so the movement of substance from higher concentration to the lower concentration according to the concentration gradient without semi-permeable membrane is called diffusion. Okay student, now what is osmosis? Osmosis is also according to the concentration gradient, but there is a difference. What is the difference? Diffusion can take place in solid, liquid and gas. Diffusion can take place in solid also, in liquid also, in gas also. But the rate of diffusion, rate means speed, but the rate of diffusion is maximum in gas, then in liquid, then in solid. Okay, so diffusion can take place in solid, liquid and gas, in 3 states of matter, but osmosis can take place only in liquid. So what is osmosis? The movement of liquid from higher concentration to the lower concentration through semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. So here the second difference is semi-permeable membrane is used. In diffusion there is no semi-permeable membrane. In osmosis it has semi-permeable membrane. Okay students, and in diffusion the movement of substance means solid, liquid and gas can move, okay, but in osmosis only the movement of liquid. Let us take an example for osmosis. Suppose this is a container in which these two tanks are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, semi-permeable SMP, I have written SMP, semi-permeable membrane, okay. So here is water in the component first, here is pure water, and in component second, it has water plus sugar, it has the molecules of sugar also, okay. Now what we observe that the concentration of water is high in component first. Component first have the maximum concentration of water, it is more diluted, okay, it is more diluted. Dilute का मतलब होता है by adding water we can decrease the concentration of the substance, is called dilution. Suppose I have taken pure milk, 1 liter of pure milk, okay, then I added 1 liter water into it, so it become diluted. Now its concentration will decrease, so that is called diluted. So the concentration of water is more in this left hand side and the concentration of water is less in right hand side. So what will happen, according to the concentration gradient, water will move from the left to right, yani from 1 to 2nd, okay. So the movement is from लेफ्ट साइड टू राइट साइड, तो और ये मूवमेंट कब तक होगा, टिल द इक्विलिब्रियम अटेंड, द मूवमेंट विल अकर टिल द इक्विलिब्रियम अटेंड, ओके. So this is called osmosis. Students, I hope you all understand what is the difference between osmosis and diffusion. Now it is okay. In next class we are going to discuss about hypotonic, hypertonic and isotonic solution. Then we will discuss about nucleus, and then we will go in the further to this chapter. I hope you all understand. If something is not getting clear, then please write in comment, okay. See the video again and again. Thank you very much.